Ah, okay, you got a little break from me. I didn't give you that much videos today, so hopefully you guys appreciated that you had a little bit of blow. Like, you know what? You can watch someone else. Anyway, I'm back with breaking news. I was told that Tekashi 6ix9ine's story that we're hearing about him getting the $10 million is bogus. Bumpus. Yep, that's what I've been hearing. Now, in case you guys have a life and was living that life, let me inform you to what us and the rest of the people who were caught in the deadlights were doing. There's a story that was going around from an unreported, unknown source that said Tekashi 6ix9ine was getting a record deal for two albums, one in English, one in Spanish, and the deal was going to be worth about $10 million. I only got about 50 million problems with that, but we've already addressed that. Now, I was told today by one A&R that's still working in the industry that they were trying to reach out to do a deal with 6ix9ine on some other things, and that deal wouldn't be for that much. And somebody else said if they did reach a deal, it could possibly get higher than that. Why in the world would they stop at 10 million for each record? He was like, because it ain't even about the records. We could be looking at an all-out deal that includes his publishing, but no one has offered anything of the such because they don't know his his situation with his case with the federal government. So why would they have this deal in place and then he goes away and then what happens to the deal? Kashi 6ix9ine is in a different type of situation in that no company would make such a deal with him. They might have an agreement in place saying they would do something like this. But from what people have known, they were like, we don't know what's going on. Like, we didn't offer anything to anybody. I think he's trying to get a deal and trying to leak out his terms of what he's looking for and put it out on social media. That's what one guy said. Because he's like, if this was a deal in play or it was something to be in play for people to sign him, then they would have signed him to a deal. And can nobody track the source down? He said, if your source is just DJ Academics, that's how reliable is that? That means it's probably coming from 6ix9ine himself saying it, and this is a guy who's a known liar. This is a guy who says stuff that doesn't exist, like all the time. So we to believe this guy? I mean, when is the last time you listened to Tekashi 6ix9ine and Tekashi said something that you could really take home and believe? The guy lies all the time. He's always looking out for himself. So you can't trust anything that he says because he's looking to get himself out of situation. Every time you look around, he's trying to get himself out of something he fell himself into. Got himself involved in a jam. So I don't trust the dude. Only thing I do know is somebody tried to manage his affairs. 50 Cent did when he tried to go secure those rights. They went to try to secure the rights for Tekashi 6ix9ine so that they could make a documentary. Now, he could be in jail, he could be out. He could do those kind of deals because he's in jail. So his team and whoever's representing him, they can get to them and get the rights and be able to make the movie. The same way Complex is trying to do this documentary where it doesn't even have 6ix9ine in the documentary. They're doing a documentary where they just interviewing people from the case and talking about the whole case in general. Now, being that it's Complex, they're going to try to put him in a whole new light, dress it up, and then stick it in front of our faces because they want to be the ones to promote this media darling. You know, he's the only validation to DJ Academics having a job. So naturally, they're going to be like, well, he does have a buzz on social media. We got to pay attention to him. This guy had like 20 million views on Instagram. It's like, dude, I can't find a million people to ever care about anything, let alone believe a million people would even follow a guy that's like that. If that was the case, he would have been headlining tours. Okay? A lot of these people are really good with these bots and all this other crap to try to make believe that there's something that they're not. But when you remove it all, you got a scared little boy with dye in his hair who just want to go home and go to bed. Then you strip all that down, you get that guy, and then he's signing paperwork like Lakeisha Grant from Power. Yep, signing that paperwork. True to it, as always. I look at the field of where this information come from, where TMZ can report on it, where DJ Vlad and everybody else in the world, they probably just piggybacked off of it. But TMZ, they're the reason I had to put out a video because it's been legitimized. I wasn't early to the news. Once it was legitimized, I had to make a video. Now it's legit. So, Meek Mill had the proper response. I think media nowadays is propaganda. It's just straight up propaganda. If he did a deal, I'm quite sure it'd be more than 10 per record. Depends on what kind of, back end publishing deal they do, but I don't see that kind of like welcome for him. A lot of people still didn't know who he was when he got locked up in the first place. A lot of people learned about him after the fact. So it is what it is. Now, as far as the rest of the hip hop game, how is this guy gonna do shows? He can't. He'll be the only guy at the show. Cause your security ain't gonna be able to control a whole audience full of people. Where a lot of people coming to see you, some people coming in there might be just to harm you. So everybody standing around you gotta understand that at any given time, they can get it too. So now you're putting other artists in danger for just being next to you. Well, who's gonna ensure the venue of you performing? Nobody. Commission costs through the roof. Anyhow, I'm out. It's your boy Carcino Man saying thank you guys who have donated. And all you guys who didn't donate to the Cash App, shame on you, broke people. I'm out.